Okay, class. I'm doing the video this week because I kind of forgot to tell the person who's supposed to do it how to do it and give all the information, so I decided just to do it myself, and that person will do it in 2 weeks with the next round. So to start off, we're on lesson 12, remembering flashcards are due at the end of the week. This week, because it is week 12, meaning as in every 4 lessons we have a test. Granted, we did lesson 9 before break. This test at the end of the week will only cover 10, 11, and 12, so it'll only cover 45 words versus covering 60 words. Yes, that means you have 2 tests this week, and yes, that means the test is on Friday, unless, of course, you can convince me otherwise. And let's get on to our words. Amity is a noun. It's peaceful relations and friendship. If you've ever read the book Divergent or seen the movie Divergent, you know that they have 5 factions, and one of the 5 factions is amity, that idea of that peacefulness, that quietness, that friendship, and it's all about the peace and what they offer to others in helping others. It's not for gain for oneself, it's for helping others, and it's for being peaceful in the process. Animadversion is the next one. If you look here, it says usually used with on, so it's on animadversion, or actually it's on comes after it, so it's animadversion on. So it's a critical or hostile comment. So if you made an animadversion on something, so the on comes after, and it goes with the idea of what you're actually criticizing or being hostile to. If it's a person, if it's an object, if it's a product, it's that idea of it comes after the aspect itself, but it's what you're being hostile toward. Antithetical is an adjective, being in direct and outspoken opposition. I think of this as the people who are protesting right now. They're protesting over things that Donald Trump does, but they're in direct opposition and they're very outspoken about it. They're holding protests, they're holding marches, soon it's to be strikes, but that idea of that protest aspect, and it's very outspoken in how they feel about what's going on. Bellicose is an adjective, inclined to quarrel, combative, and warlike. So someone who is bellicose in their being, in their body, they are inclined to quarrel. They're more likely going to combat, they're more likely to want to fight or go to war over something. The next one is bucolic. This is an adjective of or relating to country life. It's rustic, it's pastoral. If you look at the picture here, it actually shows the idea of country life and out in the farm and in the trees, and you definitely have that pastoral or that rustic, or what we'd also call rural environments. So it's very much that country life aspect. Craven is an adjective. It's utterly lacking courage, willing to give up or capitulate. So if you lack the courage and someone comes after you, you give up. You roll over and play dead is the way I look of it. The idea of how a dog does it, they become submissive if another dog comes up towards them and they are craven, is they capitulate, they give up, they lack the courage, and they roll over and play dead. Exalts is to raise in rank, wealth, or honor, and to praise highly or glorify. So when we exalt someone, we move them up. We put them on a pedestal. We give them promotions, we give them wealth, we give them honor. And it's also this idea of sometimes that religious aspect, that idea of someone that's exalted and that we glorify. In churches, it's often the Pope or the head leader of a church, but that idea that we praise them highly, so we exalt them and we move them up. Jesus and God have the same aspect here. Impugn is a verb, to act as false, to call into question. So if you say that something is wrong, you attack them as being false. You tell them that they're wrong. You call into question. You're asking them. You're impugning them. I don't want to say attacking because it's not necessarily an attack aspect, but you're saying, hey, that's not right. You need to explain it. You need to prove it. You need to back up the evidence aspect. Introspective is an adjective, inclines to look inward and examine one's thoughts and feelings. The picture here, or the statue, you might recognize as the thinker. That idea that he's thinking, he's looking inward, he's being introspective. This also, the root or the prefix intro is that idea of inside or introverted. So you're looking inside someone, you're looking internal or inside yourself, and you're looking internally and inward to see what's going on with you. Now, our next word, métier, is our first French word for this lesson. Oddly enough, this lesson has 2 words that are French that are now part of the English vocabulary. Métier, the R is kind of silent. Work or activity for which one is particularly suited. So the idea here is that it's what they are meant to do. My métier is to be a teacher. I am very well suited for it, my passion, my outgoingness. Some people have that métier to be a violin player or to be a doctor, but it's something that it's ingrained in them, and it's who they are, and it's what they're meant to be. Penniless is an adjective, marked by extreme poverty, stingy, and lacking generosity. So we have 2 aspects like this. The idea of someone who's penniless, who is very, very extremely impoverished and very poor. But on the other side, you have the stingy and lacking generosity. So you have the bah humbug person, you have the Scrooge aspects. So you could look at both sides. So the person that's really poor or the person that's really stingy in the idea of how you're looking at it. Privation is a noun, an instance or condition of extreme hardship or a lack of comfort. The picture here actually goes with the penniless aspect with the idea of being extreme poverty. So someone who has a privation also has an extreme hardship or a lack of comfort of some kind. Sobriquet is the other French word we have. It's a nickname. There will probably be a question you'll notice as the video goes along with regard to this. So sobriquet is a nickname. It's what people are called. People gain these nicknames because of something happening to them. I definitely grew up with a couple of different nicknames that I'm not going to share with you. Some of them nice, some of them not so nice. But you also have nicknames for your teachers. So a certain teacher you call Miss K, or we call Miss Catch, and it's not using their whole names, but it's that idea you have that nickname aspect to it. Okay, tantamount. It's equivalent to or the same as. So if this is the idea of that analogy aspect. So it's equal to it. So it's got the equal sign in there, but it's that equivalent and same as aspect. The last one for this week. It's a noun, and it's always in the plural form. It's conditions of painful or difficult change, struggle, or turmoil. The picture here goes with this idea of Jesus being crucified, and during this time he was definitely going through a difficult change. He was struggling, he was in turmoil, and it was very painful for him to actually go through this. So if someone's in throes, they actually have this painful, difficult aspect to have to deal with within their life, whether it be a death in the family, whether it be a disability that they have to deal with, but it's definitely that idea that it's a difficult aspect of their life to have to deal with. Okay, even though we have a test at the end of this week, you also have note cards due, but the note cards are only for lesson 12. The note cards for lessons 10 and 11 will be returned to you, so you can use them for studying. I will see you in class tomorrow, and make sure you bring your books with you. Have a good night.